ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jeremy Cordeaux. Peter Clayton is here behind the camera. Bless your heart, Peter.
Why is that?
Well, thank you for coming.
It's all, it's a pleasure. I love it.
Well, we're going to make some changes, and I wanted you to be across because I did mention it last week, and we did get your tick of approval, so I think it's okay to go with it. What I want to do is to, instead of having a posting on Facebook on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, which morphs into or moves into a podcast wherever you get your favorite podcast from, or whatever they say, and then there's a live streaming show on Friday from the dining room table, jeremycordeaux.com, where we can take calls and play music and have guests and several microphones, and it's all good. Anyway, the decision is that what we'll do is to have one posting on Facebook on a Wednesday, and that will be a podcast that Andy Martin will, bless his heart and his brilliant brain, translate into social media on another app, wherever you get your favourite podcast from. And it's just basically jeremycordeaux.com on Friday, and Jeremy Cordeaux's Court of Public Opinion on Facebook, and where you get your podcasts. We'll probably not do half an hour on Wednesday. I think we're more likely to do a full hour. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. It'll go till it goes. I want to see how that works and what your feedback is. And I'd be, as I always am, grateful for your feedback. I just noticed I was bleeding. I had a small altercation with a possum last night. Nothing serious. It dripped on my pants. Anyway, the ringtails are lovely. Gentle little things, ringtail possums. The brushtails are a little more aggressive. If you don't come out with the pears and the apples fast enough, they will... It's not that they're aggressive, they're assertive. I think that's the best word. Pete, tell everyone the story about the little baby possum you found.
Well, Katie found it, actually.
Now, Katie is
my border collie, yes.
Big dog.
Yeah, and she came inside last night, sat down beside me, looked up at me, sort of gesturing me. I looked down, and she had a very young ringtail possum on her back that she brought in to sort of say, well, what do I do, Dad?
How big was the possum?
Oh, tiny. It weighed
a baby.
70 grams.
Well, you know that the babies ride around on their mother's backs until mum, or maybe it's the baby, I don't know, determines that time to separate, and I guess it goes for kangaroos and koalas and everything, but clearly the little baby ringtail thought that Katie was mum, so you get on the back of the nearest big furry thing you can find.
But then I picked this beautiful little thing up, and I just put it inside my jumper and watched about 3 hours of television, and this dear little possum was just so content. And then I took it down to the small animal vet down at Kent Town, and they took care of it.
Is that an animal rescue place, or?
Well, it's a vet place, but they do take in wildlife 24/7, basically. There's always someone there. So that's the second possum I've taken down.
That's absolutely beautiful.
Oh, look, it was beautiful to have that little possum sitting on my chest, and because I was told they like to feel a heartbeat.
Oh.
That reminds them that's what they feel with their mum.
Yes.
So it was warm, it was comfortable, and it just climbed up onto my head at one stage.
Where's Dad, by the way?
Oh, well, where Mum is, but we don't know where either of them are, I suppose. I don't know.
Well, it's one of the blessings of having lots of trees, because if you've got lots of trees, you'll have lots of possums.
Yes.
And that's wonderful. Now, maybe, Pete, we could rerun this segment today, tomorrow, just to make sure everyone knows, if he or she tunes in to see the Court of Public Opinion, that we will be having on Wednesday the new revamped 1 hour, well, as I say, it'll go till it goes,
I think
program.
it'll be an hour.
I don't think we can handle an hour.
Oh, you'll do an hour, don't worry about that.
I think we can do an hour. But I must tell you that the live streaming show on a Friday is doing very well, and we need to perhaps consolidate and concentrate on making, well, what do they say? Less is more?
Yes.
And I honestly don't think that there is one single podcast, well, that I've ever heard of, or one podcaster who does Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And this would be 4 years, I think. Pete, how long have we been doing this?
Well, at least 3, I think.
Yeah, it's a long time. And, you know, the idea is basically to pursue excellence, which is always what I want to do. And I was reminded today, because I normally have my very prized Order of Australia insignia thing that I wear. But I was reminded that it is the 60th year anniversary of my entering the world of broadcasting. 60 years. And I was reminded because the Federation of Commercial Broadcasting Stations give you a, well, it starts out when you've done 25 years, they give you one of these or something similar. Then when you have done 50 years, they give you this. So I've done 60 and there ain't no insignia for 60. But I treasure this, and I thought I'd wear it because it was a memorable moment in my life to sort of clock up 60 years before the mast. That's the broadcasting antenna rather than the sailing ship, you understand. Anyway, so look, there's going to be so much that we need to talk about on Wednesday. Domestic violence, I want to talk about that. And we'll have somebody around the dining room table on Friday to talk in probably more expert terms than I can talk about it. There's the worst ramping in the history of South Australia. We never had ramping like this. It's bizarre. I want to talk to you about social media. Social media, they're calling and baying for the blood of the social media people. And again, on Friday, you may have a very significant contribution to make to that with your opinion on whether or not social media should be checked, edited, censored, controlled. But it's more about Elon Musk saying, well, you know, you there in Australia can't tell me what I can put on my platform for the rest of the world. Mind you, people in Australia do think they can control the world. They want to trot around and say all sorts of things and argue all sorts of cases for more, I don't know what it is, power? I have no idea. The economy is an interesting story that we will get to along with everything else on Wednesday. It's not too bad. We're not looking too bad at all. In fact, there may well be a surplus. Now, they don't come along in the history of Australian politics all that often. These demonstrations we're recording this on Sunday afternoon, and I understand our city was choked with protesters about Palestine. There's an outfit called Moms for Palestine, and there's Teachers for Palestine. I sympathise enormously with anyone who is suffering because of the effects of war. Don't start it. Don't elect Hamas, who will take you down a perilous path. Don't do that. Anyway, more on Wednesday. The Federal Firearms Register, $1.5 billion. Oh boy, I have a few things to say about that. Pete might have to say a few things as well. Pine Gap, they're getting stuck into Pine Gap. Pine Gap is one of those things that we rely on in Australia as an assurance to keep the world free from terrorism, the bad guys. But no, they're out again with the help of the ABC, marching and demonstrating, complaining about Pine Gap, and they know nothing about it. More on Wednesday. The 4 Aboriginal spears just comes to mind. The 4 Aboriginal spears brought back from Trinity College in Cambridge. I think there were 10 or so people who went over there to collect them, and now I believe we are going to have to spend millions to build a house for them. 4 bloody spears that were given to Captain Cook in 1770. Give me a break. Anyway, we will have lots to talk about. Are you leaving, Pete?
No.
You were standing up. I thought you were going to make a run for the door. Anyway, look, just so that you're across what I'm doing, we will be having 1 podcast and 1 posting on Facebook every week. It'll be Wednesday, and we'll have the live streaming show from the dining room table on Friday, 9 till 12, jeremycordeaux.com. But I welcome all your feedback, and if you want me to go back and do it differently, I'm more than happy to do that. It's not keeping me going, it's shutting me up that is the problem. Takes a bit to shut me up, believe me. Thank you for viewing the Court of Public Opinion. Maybe, have I got time to do a few dates?
Yeah, of course you can.
Just a few dates. It's the 29th, I think.
Yes.
29th, the royal wedding of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. Prince William, future King, and Kate Middleton, Westminster Abbey in London, 2011. 2011. The Australian government announces that it would send troops to Vietnam. 1975. Yes, I do remember all of that. The Vietnam War. US begins to evacuate in 75. Evacuate citizens from Saigon in Operation Frequent Wind in response to advancing North Vietnamese forces, bringing an end to the US involvement in the war. Yeah. Well, the Americans have got to be careful, because I think since World War II, I don't think they have actually won a single war. The greatest military power in the world. Yes, it's worth considering. Anyway, 65 was when the Australian government announced they'd be sending troops to Vietnam, and then 75, everyone bailed. Thems who could. Adolf Hitler marries Eva Braun. He was 56, she was 33, in the Führer bunker in 1945. Oh, hey, Pete, the largest sausage ever.
Yes.
At 28.77 miles.
Oh.
Was made in Kitchener, Ontario.
Why?
Why? They tell me the one thing you never want to do is to look at how they make a sausage.
No.
Because you'll never enjoy another one.
No, I don't want to know.
As long as you live. Wrecking cranes begin to tear down the Berlin Wall at the Brandenburg Gate. On this day in 1990, this is Monday, today, we'll repeat this tomorrow, so you'll forgive me if the dates are a little wrong for Tuesday. 74, US President Richard Nixon says he will release edited tapes that he had made in the White House. I think that man had to get a life. You know, he should have just enjoyed being president. Kennedy did. Kennedy wouldn't have had the time to sit down and make tapes of conversations, I wouldn't have thought. 1950. 2004, Oldsmobile builds its final car. Gee, I find that hard to understand. Isn't Oldsmobile around anymore, Pete?
Well, I never heard. I wouldn't know. No.
Oldsmobile.
Apparently not.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, Oldsmobile builds its final car, ending 107 years of production. Conscientious objector Desmond Doss. Oh, yes. Saved 75 wounded soldiers in the Battle of Okinawa at Hacksaw Ridge on this day in 1945. Later depicted in the Oscar-winning film Hacksaw Ridge. He was a medic, a conscientious objector. He would not carry a gun. But he saved the lives of all of these people, pulling them or getting them down.
Is that a true
story?
That's an incredible film, yeah.
Yeah, 75 lives that man saved. I don't know, it doesn't tell me here if he got an award or anything. I hope he did. Joan of Arc arrives at the siege of Orleans in 1429. Alfred Hitchcock, the English film director, Psycho, The Birds, Rear Window, Vertigo. He died of heart failure, renal failure, at the age of 80 in the year 1980 on this day. Alfred Hitchcock, English film director, Psycho, The Birds, Rear Window, Vertigo, and of course he did that wonderful television series which went forever. Alfred Hitchcock Presents, I think it was called. Dies of renal failure at the age of 80. The year was 1980. Anyway, I will leave it at that. Thank you so much for viewing the Court of Public Opinion, ladies and gentlemen. Peter Clayton behind the camera. I'm Jeremy Cordeaux. We'll be back with our revamped. Do you think we should get another set, or is this one okay?
No, this is fine.
Is it all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it'll be an elongated 1-hour version of the Court of Public Opinion every Wednesday, and of course the live streaming show on Friday 9 to 12, jeremycordeaux.com. Thank you very much for your support. Believe in yourself. We will see you Wednesday. Goodbye for now.